Hello, welcome to the Circle at Kismet. Today we've got a brief reading for Halloween based on advice and guidance from our ancestors. While the veil's thin, what better time to get some messages to help us on our future paths. The reading's generic, so it may not be for everyone. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but keep an open mind. The readings are timeless, so if you do come across this after Halloween, this might be the right time for you to hear this. So without further ado, we have 4 piles in front of us here, each with a different Halloween topper. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'll give you a quick close-up of the things that you're picking from. We've got a skull. That's pile number 1. Whoops. We've got a witch's hat in pile number 2. We have a frog for pile number 3, and we have a spider for pile number 4. If you're not used to pick a pile readings, close your eyes, pause the video if you need to, and take a few deep breaths and make your selection. And I'll see you at your pile. Okay, so pile 1, those of you that picked the skull, this is your pile. I can sense from the past that there's been a lot of new beginnings and opportunities, and that you've set a lot of new boundaries to existing situations. I think you've possibly started on some kind of journey where the destination is unclear, but you felt like you've needed to do something and to begin this. I think you've carried a lot of heartache around with you, which is shown here, and you've probably carried it for too long. You're immensely strong, but this can lead to becoming hardened with your true emotions if you don't share them or release them. You've got great focus when you decide what you want, but taking action has left you hesitant while you juggle how to go about attaining them, prioritising what needs to be done first, and actually going after what you want. In your recent past, I think you've possibly had to mould yourself to fit into other people's ideals or to comply with what's expected of you. There's been an overwhelming need to regain control and to break free of the need to conform. Moving into the present and the future, you need to celebrate small victories. This tiny triumphs card is basically saying that small things and big things aren't as they seem. Things can turn around, but you need to celebrate every small step towards that. The power of perseverance and the belief system is key in this. You've had to work hard and you've sown the seeds for what you want in the future, but you do need to believe in yourself. Practically anything's impossible if you do. You need to put some time aside for yourself. We've got the how can you feed others when your own table is empty card. You're guilty of giving too much of yourself to others, putting others before yourself, and risking burnout is a reality when this card comes up. You've got a wealth of ideas brimming in your mind, but there's a lack of motivation as you feel a bit depleted. So putting things into motion to manifest them is particularly difficult at the moment. You've got a lot of concern for the future. We've got some worry cards here and some strength. Worrying's not going to help your situation, but if you're determined and you put the hard work in that's required to get what you want, you will have some fantastic opportunities just around the corner. If you've got the courage and the resilience to strive for what you want, it will be attainable. You just need to start putting things into play. So I hope that helps you with pile 1. If you like the reading, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello pile 2. If you pick the witch's hat, which is just here, this is your pile. So to get some details on the past, first of all, it feels like in the past you've almost felt stunted by lots of negative people around you who kind of dip into your life and change your mood. You need to release yourself from toxic situations or being smothered. You can see the liberation card there, the bride in a cage, and the I won't cry for you. They're all outside influences where you're basically coming across other people's negativity, which is actually taking you down. You're basically feeling smothered. You can be in unhealthy relationships, or you've maybe had an unhealthy relationship. There's been connections in the past, friendships, relationships, families. It's all taking its toll. Different people expressing their feelings to you, you taking it on board, maybe helping to sort situations out for them. You've left yourself obviously absorbing that negative feeling, and it's taken you down. There's also a fear of change here from the past. It's engulfed you and has left you in a little bit of a stalemate. You don't seem to be happy where you were, and therefore you're not looking forward to the future. So there's an overwhelming feeling of frustration in certain areas. There's certain things that you've attained, but you struggle in other areas to accomplish what you really want. You've got a desire for both security, but also to fulfill the need for adventure or travel, and that's quite a hard thing to balance. I mean, you're kind of in two minds here. You've got a home in the sky, so you do kind of want a home, but you want to be able to move it. So there's that influence tearing into you as well. It's actually stopped some great opportunities, which in the future will become more pressing and attainable, but you do need to really locate where your heart's going to be if you want to get some travel under your belt, or if you would like to settle down. You just need to make a little bit more of a plan for the future. There's definitely a female energy which feels detached, which is here and over here as well, up this end. It's a woman that speaks the truth, but she risks upsetting or alienating people by doing this, and possibly unsettling situations. So I'm not sure if that's you, if that's somebody around you, but obviously it's definitely something to be aware of. Moving into the present and the future, you've had a longing for something to come into being, but you feel deep in your heart it's really unattainable. And it's so out of reach that you'd need a miracle to make it manifest. But little do you know, applying yourself wholeheartedly to the cause can bring this considerably closer and bring it into possibility of attainment. There's a lot of fantastic opportunities ahead. If things are going wrong at the moment or not fitting into place, realise that the collapse of current situations and ultimate change is breaking down your present to make a solid foundation for the future. Now's not the time to go away from the flow. You really just need to let fate come to you and help you where it needs to go. There is a woman and a younger man here. We have the woman and a younger man. They seem to be causing some kind of anxiety to you. You don't necessarily know their full story, and there is a change ahead, either for you involving them or for them together. There's an essence that things are worse than they really are, or that people are gossiping or doing things underhanded, or there's something that's going on that's not above board. Try not to worry about this. At present, it's something that is going to rectify itself without any kind of action from you. But, try not to worry too much about that. That is something that needs to pass, but it is something that maybe might be coming up in your mind. There's also a need for you to release some bad feelings and to move away from some past feelings of rejection or neglect that you felt from other people. If things are not meant to be, there's going to be a reason why things didn't work out. You have to have faith and trust what is ahead for you. Obviously your highest eventual good will be sorted out by the universe, and obviously fate will step in. But what you've experienced has formed and morphed you into the person you are today, and that is now safe to release. And it's set you up with who you need to be in the future for things that are about to unravel. So hopefully pile 2, that's your reading. If you like that, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, hello pile 3, those of you that picked the frog, this will be your reading. You appear to have had a bit of a wobble in the past with your self-confidence. I think it's you've been concerned about work that you've maybe needed to do on your body or on your diet, or you felt inadequate in some way. It's also been combined with an inner struggle of where you've tried to seek peace but felt that you failed because you're trying to juggle what is true to you but what is expected of you by others. I think at the back here with the honour yourself and the opulence cards and blinded to pain, I think basically that's you masking yourself off from a lot of things. You've been called upon to use your talents to become a leader and a teacher of what you know and to share your knowledge or advice to help others. If this is yet to come into being, it's going to be something that will be coming up soon, and it does need to be fulfilled. There's a lot you have to give, and that really needs to be ticked off. There's been a certain amount of disappointment around you. I'd say there's a man or a woman that basically you've suffered some kind of heartache. The person involved was in touch with their emotions and could be very loving and showed their emotions freely, but it's for some reason it's caused some heartache, and it's been quite unexpected. It may have involved another, I don't know, but that person's definitely caused you some trust issues, and you've obviously got the disappointment here with the 5 of cups. 3 of the cups are turned, but there's always the renewal of the 2 remaining cups, and it's come up next to the world card, so there definitely is fantastic things in the future for you. Happiness is almost becoming a burden as a result of this. You've kind of turned your back on affairs of the heart, or you've begun maybe a string of flippant relationships that lack depth or commitment, or that are just maybe with unattainable or unsuitable partners. But that really is a phase that I don't feel is particularly going to last, but it is a part of the process of what's happened and coming out of that tunnel. As we move on into the future, you're coming into a place where you almost feel like you're not whole. You feel like something's missing. You need something to fill the void that you can't imagine healing in the future. If you can sacrifice the current feeling of despondency and begin to reach out to others and to new opportunities, it will quickly dispel, and the current cycle will end and a new one will start. It's going to take planning, and you do need to pull yourself out of your comfort zone, but it will be fully worth it in the future. There's an essence of excitement, mystery, dreams coming into being. As I say, you've got the world card there. You've got the gift card here, which is really about enjoying the present, going on into the future. You've got the 10 of Hearts over there on the Ouija playing cards. They're all very happy, very, very positive cards. So with the negativity that you've experienced, there definitely is a change and a turn of events here for you, but you do need to put some work in to pull yourself out of that. There's definitely going to be some kind of communication from an unexpected or surprising source. There may actually be a literal gift with the gift card from someone special, but that may be further down the line in the future. If you can manoeuvre your focus to what you actually want, anything is now possible. And I think with the world there, and with all the other cards that you've experienced, the world and the gift together, and the 10 of Hearts, I think pretty much anything is possible for you. Pile number 3. So that's your reading. I hope that was okay. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Okay, pile 4. Those of you that picked the little spider, this is your reading. So in the past, you've had a lot of memories, and they're a wonderful thing, but not if they're keeping us in a well of despair. If you can't free yourself from the cycles that once made you happy, which no longer serve you, release really is the only option. You can see here, faces are covered, eyes are covered. It's almost like you don't want to accept that things have ended, and reliving the memories is fantastic, but if it's not serving you, it does need to change. So a change in viewpoint is definitely required. You need to put the past back where it belongs, take what you need from the phase, but now focus on the new direction that you want to bring into being. You deserve great things, and you certainly have worked hard for them. You've been full of energy and determination and ready for adventure, or you've encountered someone who has shown those traits. It's been hard to find a balance around this person or situation, and it's been a hard pill to swallow. Your dreams and fantasies have helped you motivate yourself, but some of these have been a little bit far-fetched for the present situation, and that's really why they've not come into fruition. You've been disappointed in some of these realms. It may have stopped you applying yourself to other projects, relationships and paths that may have been more rewarding and brought other things into fruition. But the seeds have been planted for your future wishes, and you've got the potential, but do need to put some hard work in to manifest the reality. You've got here the 9 of Hearts and the 5 of Hearts. Obviously 5 of Hearts is a little bit of a disappointing card, where things maybe haven't come into being where you want them to be. You've also got the 5 of Cups, which is similar thing, but between it is the 6 of Swords. So that is you moving on, making a passage, to move on and to really start anew, and to hopefully remove some of this negative weight that you've been carrying, by admitting that phase is over and a new phase is now required. Moving into the future, you're definitely facing some kind of pending change. You've been in self-preservation and survival mode, covering your own back and feeling that you're the only person that you can really rely on. You've bent over backwards and swayed your own beliefs to try and fit in with others, but there's now a need to return to your true path and to become who you really are, and to basically to be empowered. And I think you're going to start seeing how everything fits into each other, why you've had to be like that, what you've learnt from it, and what you can take with it. So this might ultimately be a huge change, but there's definitely a need to involve movement. You need to be empowered, you need to transform, and you need to really restart a new chapter, because I think you've been in the old one for quite a long time, and it's long overdue, basically. There's definitely going to be an opportunity for growth, innovation, and to see how all the pieces fit together, which is what I was saying about the all is connected. When this becomes apparent, you're going to feel like you can finally move on into the right direction, and things will become a lot easier. You won't be going against the current, you'll be going with the flow, so to speak. Got to watch out for temptation. We've got the Devil card there. Watch out for temptation of all kinds. Beware of an offer that may not be what it seems, or secure situations that may morph and change. There's a man and a woman here that you've got within the cards. You've got them here. It could actually be a couple. They could be together, but there's some trust issues there. It may be unfounded. And it can lead to some kind of disappointment, but just be aware that there's dealings that aren't really what they seem. Things will be revealed later on, but you don't really want to fall into that trap of not realising what's going on. So it's all a little bit sketchy, but you just make sure anything that you sign up for or anything you get involved in, you can definitely trust. If you do fall foul of this, learn the lesson it's offered you heal the experience and move on with an open heart, because it's obviously happening for a reason. You know, you may not necessarily know what the reason is straight away, and these may not be obviously directly happening to you, they may be happening around you. But obviously watch that, because that can obviously cause some distress and some worry that you don't particularly need with what you've gone through before. So pile 4, that's your reading. If you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. And that's it for this reading. Hope you've all had a wonderful Halloween. Hope you've all enjoyed yourselves, and that the new year, so to speak, starting tomorrow, is a good one for everyone, and that this time next year our lives will be transformed and we'll have a lot more things to look forward to, and hopefully a lot of dead wood that we've removed from our lives to make things better. Anyway, see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.